Welcome to this episode of Cut to the Chase. My name is Mark Kuhr. I'm the co-founder and CTO here at Synack. We're here to talk to you about the Synack FedRAMP Authorized status and how it might apply to enterprise businesses. What is this FedRAMP Moderate designation? FedRAMP stands for the Federal Risk and Authorization Management Program, and this is a program that is designed to help the government in assessing the risk from their vendors. Each vendor they use comes with a variety of software and approaches to their software stack. And this program is intended to assess independently the security of those software stacks. And so it comes in 3 impact levels: light SaaS, so for software as a service applications that reside in the cloud; low, medium, and high. The moderate framework is where Synack resides today, been assessed independently by a third party at the FedRAMP Moderate level. FedRAMP Moderate has a variety of controls, and it's quite a lengthy process to be assessed for FedRAMP. You can either have an agency sponsor or a JAB-driven process that's more independent from the agency. So the agency process includes a variety of steps, such as the agency sponsoring you to go through the process, and the JAB process is something independent from agency sponsorship. There are many steps to the process, including getting ready. This is actually probably the lengthiest part of the whole process: preparation for the assessment. This is crucial to actually passing the FedRAMP process. And it does require you to comply with many security controls across your entire software stack and also across your company's internal controls. The full security assessment and agency authorization process is part of the authorization step, and that involves bringing in a third party to assess whether you're actually adhering to the controls that you say you're adhering to. And this is an independent process that involves a third party to come in and do a penetration test and an assessment process. Out of that, they will determine whether you can pass or fail. And from there, you enter the continuous monitoring phase. This is a phase where you're tracking metrics monthly and making sure that those metrics are keeping you in compliance with the requirements of the program. Let's talk a little bit about the impact levels and why it matters. Light SaaS is the easiest one to achieve, and it just checks the boxes on the basics for basic security controls. And as you move from low, moderate, and to high, you stack on many, many more controls. Many of these controls are around authorization and access control. It comes down to, at the end of the day, protecting data that resides in these environments. And so as you have complex software stacks, you're making sure that you're adhering to the best level of protection for the data that you're storing. So for example, if you're at FedRAMP High, that's the most stringent security control set for highly sensitive data. And FedRAMP High is something that you can use to store quite sensitive data, such as vulnerabilities or tax records or things that really shouldn't be out there in the public record. Synack is currently the only vendor in the PTAS space, the penetration testing as a service space, that is certified at FedRAMP Moderate, and we're on the journey to high now. This is a journey that takes about 2 years. It's quite expensive as you have to make changes to your product and make changes to your company's policies. So it really does require an organization-wide focus, and it does take an entire team to achieve this. You have to have a lot of top-down support for this program, as it does mean that you're going to change the way you handle your personnel, the way you handle your access controls internally, and potentially the way you develop your software. And so it's really important to think about FedRAMP Moderate as really a holistic control set for your business, and that becomes even more important as you move to FedRAMP High. This has to be part of the culture and baked into the way that the company does business. At Synack, we see this as really a security-first culture, and this program has been used to drive a lot of important changes throughout the business as we've matured our readiness for being FedRAMP Moderate and our journey for going towards high. In general, this FedRAMP Moderate has benefited all of our customers. While it's a federal standard and it's required by many federal agencies for the sensitive data that we do store, it is important that these controls are also applied to all of our products. And so even our commercial products contain the same security set FedRAMP Moderate. And so, we see a lot of value in bringing those controls to our entire stack and running very similar security controls in both environments for our commercial and our federal customers. And this is part of the reason that enterprises trust Synack with doing their penetration testing, but also storing sensitive vulnerability information. And we spend a lot of time securing our systems and making sure our processes are compliant to the utmost level of security. And so FedRAMP Moderate allows us to have a standard baseline, and we in many cases go above that baseline. So it does affect everything about how the company develops software. It affects how we handle incidents and certainly access controls. We've also been independently assessed by third parties as part of this process to really come in and say, are you doing what you say you're doing? And conduct independent assessments that are things like social engineering, pen testing, or even assessing randomly our continuous monitoring requirements to ensure that we're doing what we say we're doing. Overall, I'd say this program has leveled up Synack security to a new level. And it really has pushed us to make security the most important thing as we develop software and as we deal with our customers' penetration testing engagements. At the end of the day, this does help our commercial customers as well as our federal customers. The security controls apply to both environments. But if you're a commercial customer who also supports the federal government and you're going through FedRAMP yourself, because we're FedRAMP authorized, we can store that data related to FedRAMP assessments as well. So we can help companies going through the process, especially if they're at the light SaaS or low FedRAMP security control level, with targeted pen testing and a place to manage all of your pen test data, like your vulnerabilities and your reports. And we can do that all on a single platform. And then if you're going for the higher levels, you can use Synack for red teaming. This is a requirement as part of the FedRAMP process, and also further analysis of attack chains and doing threat modeling to understand what the possible avenues of attack could be for your particular company or product. So we see this as an enabler and really helping commercial companies work with the federal government, but also can help make sure that commercial companies and their products are adhering to the most stringent standards around. And with that, thank you for joining us for this Cut to the Chase episode. To learn more, visit www.synack.com.